So this side's looking amazing, this side not so much. It's time to get this renovated and we're going to do it peat free.
Throughout history, men have always been drawn to grass. Whether it be in the park, a sports ground, or simply in your own garden, there's just something about those quintessential British stripes that makes you want them for yourself. Not to mention getting one over on your neighbours. Follow Daniel on his lawn journeys in his step-by-step videos this year, whilst you create your own lawn journey, achieving that dream lawn you have always wanted with simple and easy to follow methods. The lawn you have always dreamed of is only a grass seed away. Now sit back and enjoy the video. Oh, and one more thing. If you want to subscribe, you know what to do.
Right, so you're probably thinking, why has he done this? Why has he left this side and done that side and got it looking really nice, so this side looks a mess? Easy. So I can do a video on it and show you what a renovated lawn looks like against one that hasn't been renovated. This hasn't had any nutrition at all since it was fed probably last September, before the sun went behind the houses and it never got any sun and just got a load of disease damage and stuff. So it's looking a bit worse for wear. I'm just in the process of picking out annual meadow grass and I've just seen another little bit. I thought I'd got it all, but not to be. I don't think we're going to be able to get this side totally free, but we'll give it a go. We can keep picking it up as it goes, but we've got all that out today and I've been on for hours on end before today getting stuff out and it's just like growing before my eyes. This side was covered in it as well, but I've spent probably 2 hours on my knees over a period of 2 weeks before we did the renovation and then picked some out after, but that is looking absolutely fantastic. So hopefully we'll get this side looking just as good. And like I said in the preview there, we're going to do it with a peat free compost. So I'm looking forward to using that for the first time. Right, so one of the other reasons I didn't want to feed it up is because we don't want the old lawn coming through before the new seeds coming through, because it causes problems, because then you've got to get them cut it, which isn't a problem. But the existing lawn, if there's big patches, the grass will grow in clumps and start growing laterally into the patches, and then you can never actually get them cut because it's growing sideways and your mower just can't get to them. So that's one more reason. Just seen some more annual meadow grass there. I have got my fork out, but I just had to shoot off, and I put all my stuff away, and I'm being lazy and I just can't need to go and get it, but I'll just stay and do it with my hands because it comes out pretty easy, annual meadow grass. So there you go, done that bit. Got the willow, which just drops all this like leaves on the floor. It's got like it comes out with 2 sets of leaves and leaves one of them on, and then there's one like curly and it curls underneath the main one, and then they drop off and they're just ridiculous this time of year. It just ruins this whole area. So anyway, getting back to the lawns, we're going to get the rotary out, suck all this detritus up, cut the lawn short, get on with it with the cylinder, get it even shorter, scarify it, get a wetting agent on because it's really dry, really bone dry, even though we had lots of rain. Seed, then the big reveal on this new peat free alternative compost. So let's get all the tools out and let's get going. Alright, so that's looking a lot better. We'll have a scout for some annual meadow grass while we're here. Found one. So that just comes out really easy. As you can see, it just plucks out. If it doesn't come out, then it's not annual meadow grass. That's a good rule of thumb. Another one there, so I can just literally just pull it and it just comes out. Whereas if I went for one of the rye grasses, you know, they're not coming out, so we know that's not annual meadow grass. And you can always tell by the seed heads, obviously, like there's one. And what you do is just whoop into the border. Dodgy. So when we cut it a bit shorter with the cylinder, we'll be able to get a better idea of what annual meadow grass is still knocking about, and just have one last pass with the fork, which is the best tool in the world for annual meadow grass. So we'll get the cylinder out and then we'll cut it as short as we can, and then we're on our way for scarifying. Right, so we've got that nice and short, and it's revealed quite a bit of annual meadow grass, like there. So just make it easier to see. And there's a bit further at the top, so I'll get on with that, and then we'll start scarifying. Right, so just scarified, we're just under this camellia. That's crying out for a wetting agent because it's really bone dry, and sand especially gets that lipid around it, which stops it absorbing water. So we'll put the wetting agent on, and that'll break through that. Then we'll give it a soak, and then that'll start the process of getting it into the root zone. Then we'll seed, and that'll act like a glue to it, so it'll stick. Then we'll get the peat free compost on, and then I'm going to cover it as well, just to speed things up. So in a week or two, this should be looking like this side, which looks top dollar. So I'll go and get the wetting agent mixed up, and then I'll see you back here. So I've got the wetting agent mixed up. It's always a good idea to put the H2O into the vat of water that you've got ready. So let's spray. That's it, done. Now the good thing about the wetting agent as well is that if we do get a heavy downpour, there's a good chance the water straight away will be able to penetrate through the surface and not wash off like it did last year. I know we're putting the covers on as well, but it can still wash underneath. We should get a bit of protection at first because that new fabric does take a while for the water to soak through, so hopefully there is a, not hopefully that there is a downpour later, there is a downpour later, but hopefully it's not a big one, and it just allows that fabric to get used to the water on it, and then when we do get a little bit of NRI water, it'll just soak straight through, and we won't have that desert kind of wash off ravine type thing that we had last year when all the root zone ended up in a pile here, and you can still see some of it from last year there underneath that tree, underneath the box there. So let's go get the seed. That's our glue now for the seed to stick to, and then we're ready for top dressing. Okay, so we're ready to go on with the new top dressing, peat free for all you peat free warriors out there. What you're going to moan at me now, the bag's plastic, I suppose, that's bad for the environment, so they'll start getting ribbed about that. So we'll put it in a biodegradable bag, and then you'll say, well, you're breathing, you're giving off CO2, and CO2 is bad for the environment, so I'll stop breathing, and then you'll be moaning that I've not done a video for a while. So I won't win ever, but we're on our way. So this is from fieldcompost.co.uk. It's not a paid promotion. I bought this. I specifically bought this because I didn't want to have that wrapped around my neck. So they recommend that you put this on at 8mm coverage on a top dressing scenario such as this. It's made from recycled garden waste, composted down, and then they sieve it to 4mm. If you just have a look at this close up, I'll show you how fine it is, and it really is, there's nothing in it at all, no big twigs, nothing. It smells absolutely glorious like a good compost should, and it spreads lovely too. So I'll be able to tell you what it uses in terms of coverage per bag. Using a brush today because I forgot my rake, it's on another job, and I'm going to get away with it because I'm showing you how to top dress with a brush today for those of you who don't have a rake and I've only got a brush, so I can always manipulate my own mistakes. by forgetting things by doing something else. So you can see it's lovely and black, which is good because when the heat gets on it, it's going to go really warm. When it got delivered, the sun was shining on it and it was absolutely roasting in the bag. So that's when that happens. I've actually put some bent seed many years ago in a bag of compost and put a load of water in it and left it in the sun, and it germinated in 12 hours and I had roots. So that just shows you the power of heat and water when it comes to seed. So this, with the covers on as well, is going to be absolutely fantastic. So it's just brush it in really nice. You wouldn't be able to use this for levelling because it has no structure to it in terms of like density, like sand, you know, you can compact and that stays there, whereas this is organic, so it will rot down over time. So this is literally just to cover the lawn and cover the seed. And it's good for the soil because it's full of bacteria which will break down those nutrients which are unlocked in the or locked in the soil, and they'll unlock them and make them available to the plant, like urea, like the nitrogen in the slow release feeds. That needs the bacteria to break it down in order for the plant to take it up. So the bacteria in the soil allows this to happen, and we're just putting this on, and this is like putting on an army of bacteria. So that's one bag, and honestly I'm really impressed with that. And there's just I don't have to rake anything out like I do with the Jack's Magic. You know, I had a big pile of waste there which was no good, so I'll just do like so that's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So one bag has roughly done 6 square metres, so it doesn't go as far as Jack's Magic, but I think in the long run we'll get more out of it. A bit more expensive as well, depending on how many bags you get. I got 10 bags on a pallet delivered, and it was 147 quid, so that's 14.70 a bag. But I think a lot of that's the haulage cost, so don't take that into the account. That actually costs 14.70. It's the haulage that drives the price up. They do, I think they do half a ton bags, 800 kilograms, 1,000 and 1,500. So you can buy in a bulk bag as well, which is good. So I'm really looking forward to using this going forward, because I have been on the lookout for something to replace Jack's Magic when that goes, and I think this could be the answer. And I think generally people don't mind spending the money if it's good, and especially if it's peat free. I think it ticks all the right boxes. So I'll crack on with the rest, and then I'll join you in 10 minutes or so when we're putting the covers on. Wind's picked up. I hate covering in the wind because it just blows everywhere, but I've just got to crack on with what I can and when I can, and that's life. So we'll see you in a bit. Right, so that's good, looks brilliant. Really emphasises the green on this side, which I can't believe. So that's had Grace, Steller, Sopro a few weeks ago, and Equilibrium, and that's it. And that's what's happened. So I put that on 10 days ago, and I've cut it 3 times a week since. First of all with the rotary, and then I've been going on with the cylinder. You can see now it's looking mint. And then we'll get the other side looking just as good, and then we'll just carry on mowing up, and just the stripes will just be elongated going forward. Or we could just treat it as 2 separate lawns and keep them separate, but we'll see as we go on. This side again is fantastic, looking brilliant. Really pleased that this is coming on. Just keep cutting it, that's all I'm doing. That's the key to the dense lawn, is regular cutting, different directions. Up today, but I've been going left to right as well, and you can just see the remnants of the old stripes there, which next time I'll go in with that. And that's what I'm going to stick with this pattern now, because I like it. Double stripes here, because the lawn's very narrow. I think it works well. And same here. For this one I can play about with, I can go up and down, left to right, diagonals, whichever way suits. But can't wait for it to look like that. So we've done the lawn renovations, the field compost is on. I'm really looking forward to using this in the future. I think it's going to do great because it gets really hot, and seed loves hot and moisture, and this is perfect environment for it. There's a 10% discount code in the video description if you want to check that out. But all that's left for me to do here is ask one question and one question only, and that's, Steve, what are you going to moan at me about now? So take care, and I'll see you next time here when we lift these covers and we'll see what state of the play is, and hopefully it'll look something like this. So see you soon.